So you're thinking about making the move to South Africa. Awesome. But then you probably took one look at the visa system and thought, whoa, where do I even start? I get it. It can feel like a total maze, but I promise you by the end of this, you'll have a clear map to get you through it.
And yeah, if you're feeling a little lost, you're definitely not alone. But don't you worry, we are going to break this down piece by piece and turn that confusing maze into a really straightforward path. It all kicks off with one simple idea.
And this right here, this is the absolute key to understanding everything else. The most important question you can ask yourself is, what am I actually planning to do in South Africa? Is it for a job, to study, to join your partner? Your purpose is what decides your visa. It really is that simple.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the big picture and some common mistakes to avoid. Then we'll jump into short stays, then the big one, work visas and other long-term options. We are going to spotlight one huge rule you cannot forget, and we'll wrap it all up with a simple way for you to find your perfect visa. Let's do it.
Okay, let's just get straight into it. Honestly, knowing the common pitfalls from the very beginning is going to save you a world of headaches. If you could just get your head around these 3 things, you're already way ahead of the game.
You would not believe how often this happens. Someone shows up on a regular tourist visa, they land this fantastic job offer, and then bam, they find out they can't legally take it. Your visa has to match what you intend to do. If you plan on working, you need a visa that says you can work. End of story.
Oh boy, this one is massive, and it catches so many people out. For the most part, if you enter South Africa as a tourist, you can't just apply to change your visa to a work or study permit while you're still in the country. You'd actually have to leave and apply from back home. We'll get to the super rare exceptions later, but the golden rule is, get the right visa before you fly.
South Africa is incredibly strict about this. Overstay your welcome even for 24 hours, and you can be declared an undesirable person. That sounds harsh, and it is. It can get you banned from re-entering the country for years. Trust me, it is just not worth the risk.
All right, let's move on to our first category, the short-term stuff. This is for anyone planning a trip that's 90 days or less, whether that's a holiday, a quick business meeting, or a short-term project. So this slide really shows a key difference. Your standard tourist visa is, well, it's for tourism, visiting family, that sort of thing. But what if you have to do some work while you're there? That's where this special visitor's visa, a Section 11.2, comes into play. Think of it like a tourist visa with a special work permission sticker on it. And the e-visa, that's just a handy online way to get a standard tourist visa if your nationality is eligible.
Okay, here we go. This is the big one for a lot of you. Let's talk about the main routes for professionals who want to come and work in South Africa for the long haul. This is where things like having a specific skill or a solid job offer really become critical.
Now for the general work visa, a job offer by itself isn't enough anymore. South Africa has brought in a points-based system, which is a really big deal. It actually replaces that old complicated requirement where an employer had to prove they couldn't find a South African for the job. Now you get scored on things like your age, your qualifications, your experience, and your salary. You've got to hit that 100-point mark just to be in the running.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You've got the general work visa, which is that broad points-based one we just talked about. Then there's the critical skills visa. This is for people whose jobs are on an official government list of skills the country really needs. And listen up, because this is a major change. You now need to have a job offer before you can apply for this visa. The old rule that gave you 12 months to find a job is gone. The intra-company transfer is pretty self-explanatory. Your company is moving you to their South African branch. And the corporate visa is for big companies that need to bring in a whole team of foreign workers for a specific project.
But hey, work isn't the only reason people want to move somewhere long-term, right? So let's check out the other paths for people who want to study, retire, join their family, or maybe even invest in the country.
This chart gives you a really nice, quick overview of what's out there. You see, you've got visas for students, for retirees who can prove they can support themselves, for entrepreneurs who want to start a business, and of course, a whole set of options for people joining family members or partners.
Now, I really wanted to pull this one out because it's so important. If you're moving to be with your South African spouse or life partner, this visa, the Section 11.6, is incredibly flexible. It's not just a permit to stay in the country. You can actually get endorsements added to it so you can work, study, or run your own business. It's a fantastic all-in-one visa for partners. Okay, everyone, lean in for a second. This is, without a doubt, the single most important and potentially most costly mistake you can make. If you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this.
Let that sink in.
Because the exact words matter so much. The law says no person holding a visitor's visa may apply for a change of status while in the Republic. So what does that actually mean? It means that unless you are the immediate family of a South African, you simply cannot switch from a tourist visa to something like a work visa from inside the country. You have to leave and apply from home. Getting this wrong can cost you thousands in flights and waste months of your time.
And when they say exceptional circumstances, they mean truly exceptional. We are talking life or death medical emergencies or being legally required by a court to stay as a witness. It is not a loophole for someone who just happened to find a job after they arrived. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Plan ahead and get the right visa from the very start.
Whew, okay, we've covered a ton of ground. So how do you take all of this and actually apply it to your situation? Let's boil it all down to a simple 3-step checklist that'll point you in exactly the right direction.
All you have to do is ask yourself these 3 things. 1, why am I going? That's your purpose. 2, how long am I staying? That tells you if you're looking at short or long-term visas. And 3, what do I need permission to do there? Answering these 3 questions will take you from a dozen confusing options down to just 1 or 2 that make sense.
And let's finish with one final super clear reminder on the question we get asked all the time. Can you work on a standard tourist visa? The answer is a hard no. If work is part of your plan at all, even for a short time, you absolutely need a visa that gives you permission, like that Section 11.2 or a full-on work visa.
So there you have it. The South African visa system isn't really a maze after all. It's more like a series of clearly marked roads. The whole trick is just knowing which road is yours from the very beginning. And hopefully, now you have the map you need to find it.